Today we're going to be looking at some of the best players in the world. We're starting with Node, who is ranked over 30k in Premier, so you already know he's going to be absolutely insane. With his obligatory dumb cat picture, he goes through Rat Hole but immediately heads to A because his amazing game sense tells him that all of the terrorists are rushing A ramp. With zero concern about Palace, he starts aiming through the wall and making a very bad attempt at counter-strafing. Luckily, his snappy aim makes up for his bot movement, so he easily gets 3 kills and wins the round for his team. Now, he goes mid again, but immediately decides to rush down mid because he knows that since they went A last round, they must be heading towards B. It may seem like he's wall hacking, but it's just his awareness that tells him where to go. After missing a lot of easy shots somehow, he's taken down by Chicken, who is having the round of his life and gets 4 Deagle headshots this round. Everyone is so good with the Deagle. If only Nico was this good. So here we have another cheater crying about someone cheating. As usual, cheaters are always the biggest babies when it comes to people cheating on the other team. After having his ego challenged, he rushes towards them and, with the shakiest aim ever, somehow gets kills, even though it looks like his crosshair wasn't even close to any of them. Back to our protagonist. After rushing B again, he starts walking randomly even though he already made noise. Just like almost everyone else in high elo Premier, he's really good with the scout and almost never misses any headshots. He might have shot someone through the wall, thinking they were visible, but that's okay. It's a common pre-fire angle. Here, we have 2 bad cheaters looking at each other through the wall because neither of them knows how to play the game properly. After some failed attempts at pre-firing, Node realizes he needs to turn it up even more. He toggles his settings and finally gets the kill. The enemy team may have multiple cheaters, but they're going against a semi-rage legend. They merely adopted the aimbot, but Node was born with it. He once again toggles his settings, but is quickly put down by the one and only Marcus. Node, once again, is literally aiming at them through the wall without a care in the world. He wants this win at all costs. But unfortunately, so does Marcus, who seems only capable of getting Deagle headshot kills and doesn't know how to use any other weapon because why would you? Here, we have someone literally named Evil, doing something that vaguely resembles counter-strafing. He has an op, but instead of using it, he decides to use his Deagle and pretend to be a good player. He finally switches to the op and blatantly traces the guy through the wall, then immediately dies and rightfully gets called pathetic. You know that one hurt his ego. Now we have Agent, who up until now hasn't done anything. He has one of the cheapest knives you can buy, and he finally remembers how to cheat and gets some easy one-tap frags. Scream would be so proud. He doesn't dodge the flash that drops right in front of him since he's so good that flashes don't affect him anymore. It shouldn't be a huge surprise that someone with a crown in their name is cheating. CS2 joiners are so adorable. Here we have Chris, who is at the bottom of the scoreboard. So surely he's not cheating too, right? So he starts running, then walking, then running, then walking. He really can't seem to make up his mind. I don't think Chris even knows what game he's playing. I wouldn't be surprised if he thinks this is Call of Duty. He easily gets put down by Node, and then we have Evil, who keeps shooting people through walls but failing to actually get kills. This is really bad, and you can tell he looks completely lost. He's not used to going against people who also have wall hacks, so he's running around like a headless chicken. But he makes a rookie mistake and forgets that smokes don't apply in high elo Premier. Mr. Chicken buys a Deagle on pistol round even though he's on CT. It almost looks like he's staring at them through the wall. But I forgot that in high elo Premier, you get an accuracy boost on the Deagle. So that explains why he and everyone else almost never miss with the Deagle, even when it looks like he's aiming 2 feet away from everyone. After having a stare down through the wall, which, by the way, happens a lot in Premier games, he gets the kill by aiming in the general direction of the enemy. Very skilled. Now, we have this guy whose name I'm not even sure how to pronounce, so I'll just call him Brokey. Mr. Brokey bunny hops to mid and then proceeds to miss a bunch of shots. it seems he needs to fix his config because this is atrocious. His cheat finally gets the kills, and luckily he has auto wall on, so at least it'll shoot through the wall for him. As I mentioned earlier, walls are optional in Premiere. You can have them as normal, or you can see them as transparent. Everyone is a god with the Deagle and Scout, and everyone has heightened awareness and game sense to the point where they just run straight at you and don't bother checking any angles. We have Brokey again, who really needs to fix his config. His Scout config only seems able to get kills through the wall, but not in the open, even when the enemy is standing still and not moving a muscle. If it's not a config issue, I highly recommend he refunds that cheat and refunds his brain. Yeah, so remember this guy? Another guy with a gibberish name. Earlier, he was like, "Oh my god, you think I'm cheating? No way, haha, that's so funny." Yeah, he's cheating too, and he's pretty obvious. He doesn't check any corners, he's pre-firing everyone, and he knows exactly where everyone is. Take a good look at the T-side weapons. 5 scouts, when all of them could afford to buy AKs or even ops. But who needs those when you're cheating? Valve might as well just ban everyone who uses the scout for most of their games. That would actually eliminate 90% of the cheaters. After almost 30 rounds in this godforsaken match, Node finally proves that he is the best cheater and he really wants to add this game to his semi-rage resume. You can see how desperate everyone is. And of course, Node takes out the trash and proudly screenshots this match so he can post it on his fridge as one of his greatest accomplishments in his entire life. You instantly see the cope in the endgame chat from the sore losers. "We don't care, we want to D-rank, haha. My badge is maxed out, we weren't even trying. We could have won if we wanted to." Very sad cope from some very low-tier cheaters. Despite what you saw, this is actually one of the most legit games over 30k. At first glance, if you look at their accounts, they actually seem legitimate. But of course, anyone with a bunch of bot pins, bot comments, or bot operations is 99% of the time cheating. Still, despite how bad they are, you should remember that these are the top 100 players worldwide. So clearly, they're better than everyone else.